Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's session, our webinar, Voucher-based adult education scheme. And on behalf of whole REGALE project, Regional Capacity for Adult Learning and Education, it's really my great pleasure to welcome you all today. Thanks for attending. Your presence really makes us very happy. And we hope that the knowledge and information that you will gain today will be useful for your work or for your studies. My name is Iva Janežić and I'm from Varaždin County, which is a small region in Croatia. We are also one of the partners in REGALE projects, and I will be serving you as the moderator today. Our host, which I would like to thank you a lot for making this webinar live and giving us an opportunity to share the knowledge about this topic, is European Association for the Education of Adults. So big thanks for them because they are today's official hosts. As you probably already know, this webinar will introduce you to voucher-based adult education scheme. This is an ongoing project in Croatia. It started in April, and we are planning to include 4,000 people aged from 15 within this year. And since the project lasts until 2026, the plan is to engage around 30,000 people. Basically around 40 million euro is planned for these purposes, and it is a project being funded throughout the National Recovery and Resilience Plan. The Croatia entered this program because our goal is to reach the EU average in adult education by 2030, and we are now only at 3.5%, since the EU average is around 10.8%. But before we go more into this topic, I would just like to take a few minutes of your time and mention just few technical aspects and maybe useful information. So I would like to inform you that this session will be recorded and later on used for YouTube channels and our Moodle learning platform. Also, we will share with you later on the PowerPoint presentations. We kindly ask you to leave your camera open because we will probably take one picture, and if possible, please rename yourself with your name and surname or the name of organization. That's basically more or less. So I would now like to introduce you to today's speaker. Her name is Kristina Mazalin, and she works as a senior expert advisor in career guidance and education department in our department in Croatian Employment Service. She is very into this project, as our Croatian Employment Department is working on this project together with our Ministry of Labour, Pension, Family and Social Policy, and also with Ministry of Science and Education. Her work focuses not only on this project, but also she helps develop and implement vocational guidance and other strategies. And she is also involved in education and training measures of local active labor markets. So this is for the start, everything for me. I'm really glad to welcome Kristina today. She will give you more details about this topic, and of course later on she will be open for all of your questions. Okay, Kristina, I'm giving you a floor now.
Thank you for the welcoming introduction. I would like to maybe start immediately with my presentation. Maybe that is all right. Okay, is the presentation seen? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So today I would like to introduce you, as Eva said, the newly established voucher-based education, adult education system in Croatia. That the main implementary body for this system is Croatian Employment Service. So basically, the idea, as Eva has mentioned, the main guiding aim of our Ministry of Labour, as well as Ministry of Science and Education, was to increase the rate of participation in adult education in Croatia, because currently it is very low. So the data from 2019 shows that it was only at 3.5%, whereas on the EU level, it was 10.8%. So that was the main aim. Also, of course, we are recognizing more and more, especially in these uncertain economically and societal, also technological times, that the need for good quality adult education is very much prevalent, as well as to emphasize the need for more people to participate in lifelong learning system. So the other thing that I would like to emphasize is that the idea behind all of this project was to develop workforce's digital and green skills, because this is recognized as something that's very important today. So by doing so, it will foster better coping of individuals with all the changes that are present on the labor market, but also that were expected that will happen in the nearest future. Also, by doing this, we strive to increase the long-term competitiveness of the Croatian economy. So a little bit about the project. As Eva mentioned, it is financed through the National Recovery and Resilience Plan of Croatia. This National Recovery and Resilience Plan is under the Next Generation EU funding. And the financing scope of this project is around 30 million Croatian kunas, or around 40 million euros. The project started in April, so it's been in force since 1st April this year, and it will last till 2026, but in some other form, it will also continue after that. So the targets of this project is to include by 2026 30,000 users, unique users. So the system goes: one user equals one voucher. For education, 50% of these users will be from vulnerable groups, so 12,000 people. And the ratio of vouchers for green and digital programs is 70 to 30%. So 21,000 of vouchers will be given to people who will go, who will enroll green programs, and 9,000 for digital programs. When it all began, first we needed to have a legal framework for establishing this system. So by the end of 2021, the new Adult Education Act was introduced. So also we have one ordinance and one conditions and ways of using funds, which are also very important, because they set the rules and criteria for using this voucher system in Croatia, ways of selecting service providers, as well as participants in this adult education system. But more of that I will mention later. So some basic criteria for participant to get a voucher is that they need they're either unemployed or employed persons who are over the age of 15. Another thing is that they need to, in their application, they need to somehow explain or prove that the skill that they wish to enroll program is needed for their career development, employment, or job retention that they already have. So one of the excluding criteria, or the the voucher cannot be granted to persons that are currently in a regular education system, also in higher education and science system, so that means students, and the beneficiary of pension under the general legislation governing pension insurance in Croatia. So education programs can last, once the voucher has been granted to a person, they can complete the program in 6 months. That's for unemployed persons. If they're employed, they can finish the program in up to 10 months. So the more time is given to employed persons because, of course, they're work engagements, so they will need more time. Okay, so regarding the financing of voucher, our employment service directly pays the selected education provider the amount of voucher, but the approximate amount of voucher currently is 10,000 kunas, or around 1,300 euros. So the exact amount of voucher that is granted depends on various things. For example, the education sector of subsector of the complete education program, or the total workload for obtaining qualifications and the hours of the program itself. So we have a special way of calculating, taking into considerations all those things, and then calculating the amount of voucher for each educational program. In a situation when the cost of education is higher than the granted voucher, the difference of the amount can be settled either by the user himself, the beneficiary, or the user's employer, if the employer, of course, is willing to settle that amount. Also, for unemployed persons, we cover financial aid during the attendance of the educational program, and we cover the travel costs also for them. So the vouchers are granted for micro and partial qualification acquisition. So for the skills that are in demand in the labor market, those are the skills that are expected or proven to improve the employability and productivity of the person. So the special thing about vouchers is that users independently choose the program they want to attend, as well as educational provider. So in a way, it's kind of an individually tailor-made process. When the voucher is granted by us, it can be activated within 6 months of the date of the approval of the application. So in a way, it would say that system is flexible and provides especially for employed persons. Also, during this whole process of setting up the voucher system, we have developed IT platform for granting application for vouchers, and the whole process is completely online supported. So people, when they are interested in voucher, they can find information online, they can apply online, and once they are granted the voucher, they sign a contract with the Croatian Employment Service, and in a sort of way that is a voucher that then they take to educational institution as a proof that they can attend that program. So it's aimed as to be as much as possible friendly, user-friendly, easy to use, and with minimal administration on our part as the handlers of the applications, but as well as on the part of the users. So within the project, what was needed to be set up was the skills catalog. So we have developed a skills catalog which can be found on a specific page, and it was developed based on the mapping analysis as was set down in a document. Regarding this methodology that was used for mapping analysis, it was a 5-step process that included both human labeling of the digital and green skills, but also it was using artificial intelligence algorithm to also recognize which skills are digital or green. So in this catalog, educational institutions can find all the so far lists of green and digital skills that are part of occupational standards covered by Croatian Qualifications Framework Register. And those skills can be used to further develop educational programs and in the end. So, which is of course a prerequisite if they want to be providers for a voucher system as the educational institution. So the next steps with skills catalog is to make a comparison with ESCO system and ONET registries and to consolidate them in a way. So maybe also update our own skills catalog with digitals and green skills from ESCO registry. And also would like to emphasize that this catalog is constantly updated as the new skills and occupational standards enter the Croatian Qualifications Framework Registry. So regarding the programs itself, we also have a catalog on our page that is dedicated to voucher system. So the catalog consists of a list of eligible educational programs as well as certified educational institutions that are available as providers of those programs through the voucher system. So here, basically, users can browse and use different filters to find suitable green or digital programs in their area, or they can search for online programs that are also available. And it's also constantly updated as well as skills catalog. The next thing that was also developed is the voucher platform itself. So also I forgot to mention that the skills catalog and programs catalog is integrated in this voucher platform as well. So the voucher platform consists, of course, of different entryways, let's say, but there are two main entryways. One is for the beneficiaries, so that's the users which are going to apply for a voucher through the system, and the Croatian Employment Service advisors that through this platform they grant the vouchers, handle the applications that have been submitted, and also through this platform we can monitor how far the granting process is going. We can also use it for evaluation and follow-up needs later on. So for the beneficiaries, they can first register in the app. They create a profile and a user inbox. And upon that, they can submit their request, of course, for a wanted voucher. And they can also, if they're not sure which program maybe to enroll, they can request professional or career guidance service through this platform as well. And our advisors that do that will give them all necessary information and service. Also, as I said, education providers, they don't use this platform directly, but upon the completion of the training for certain users that they had, they must later on fill in a questionnaire of the evaluation of the beneficiaries and their engagement during the training. And this is something the app will automatically send them through the email system. Also, the similar thing with employers, they don't use this app directly, but 6 months after the training of their employers, they receive a questionnaire for also evaluation purposes, where they are asked to assess the effectiveness of the training and have they seen maybe improvement in the skills of their workers. And I would like to also move on to the current statistics that we have from April till today. So as you can see in this table, we have in total for digital skills and green skills for application improved, we have, well, in total 3,000 300, maybe it's even more because this was from last week. So this is a big number because our target, as Iva said, is 4,000 for this year. And we're really reaching it fast, and we're very happy with that. Regarding the disbursed funds so far, we had it was almost above 2 million kunas, and the cost of education was a little bit less than 2 million kunas. What I would also like that so far we have more interest in digital skills programs than green skills, which is expected, but also it might represent a challenge in future because we will need to push service providers to develop more green skill programs, and as well to include more people in green skills program. So regarding the most popular programs so far, that would be definitely, for example, Python developer program, UX designer, front-end developer, as well as project management, and so on. So far, we have, just a second, the total number of programs is 483 in our catalog, and the number of different programs is 48. As you can see, for green skills, it's only 12 so far, whereas for digital, we have 36 programs, different programs. A number of education providers is 90, so it's quite a big number of education providers, and it's constantly rising. And the approximate duration of training programs so far is 284 hours. The current stats regarding the beneficiaries, I would say that mainly regarding gender, it's we have a little bit more women included in voucher system, so 58%. Regarding unemployed, employed status, we have way more employed persons who are interested so far. That will also be one more challenging thing to overturn in the future. And age-wise, the most interested age range so far is people from 25 to 34 years of age, which is also kind of expected. Other very important thing that we need to monitor and that we need to increase the number of participants is the vulnerable groups. So far, we have 211 NEET persons included. We have around 99 long-term unemployed. Also, persons with disabilities, we have 21, and inactive persons, 39 persons included. And that is basically it that I wanted to briefly introduce you to voucher system, and I would like to maybe leave more space for your questions. Hopefully you have them. Hopefully I gave you a brief introduction, and we can discuss if you have further more questions.
Christina, thank you for this brief introduction. I believe that this project is quite interesting to all of the participants today, as Croatia and I think France and Germany are basically the only one at the moment who have this type of vouchers. So I am encouraging you to ask for questions, for clarifications, or maybe some details. Christina is at your disposal.
I think we have a question from Alicia, Camilla,
Okay.
and Valeria. So maybe Alicia can start.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I work for REGALE. I have a question regarding the data, sir, in the slide number 12, because you are mentioning in the last row finished education. so I was wondering if this role means that is the people who actually finishing the program that they are enrolled. Finished education. Here you say finished education. So I'm wondering if the
Yeah, those are the numbers for the persons that have already finished their education. As I said, the program just started in April, and they have they have 6 months to finish programs, and programs usually last a bit less than 6 months, but around so yeah, this is the current number of persons who have finished education for digital and green skills. Yeah.
Okay, so doesn't mean that they drop it and they didn't end it. It's just that they are in progress.
Yeah, the most participants are currently in progress of attending education programs.
Okay, and the second question: how are you promoting this voucher system?
Well, that's a great question. Actually, our ministry is designated to do that. So we are expecting to have a promotional campaign this fall. And we're starting to distribute some promotional materials. We're going to also promote it on national television, commercials, billboards, and it's something that's upcoming, I would say.
Okay. Thank you, Christina, for your presentation and for saying all this.
Okay, I see also Camila Winter has raised her hand.
Thank you, and thank you for a very interesting presentation. Alicia, you already took my first question, so I have a second one, and I would like to know the employed people. Are they going to evening courses, or how does it work?
Well, for them, they need to first check with their chosen educational provider. They need to. We don't actually regulate that. They need to make sure that they can attend and figure that out with educational provider. So, if there's option to maybe listen online or take evening courses, that's completely out of our range of influence. And what's important is that after they finish, that the educational institution actually that they have enough of attendance to complete their program and to take the final exam. So that's what's the most important for us. But except that, how the program is organized itself, that's out of our scope of influence.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, you're muted, Eva.
Okay, regarding your question, I just can maybe add from our experience. It's really, as Christina said, you basically, as a potential user, contact the adult provider, and then you can get like a draft of program, and he informs you in front whether you can attend this remotely or you need to come to lecture. So it is something that you know in advance in order to be able to plan your time, because if you work, then this is like a crucial informations whether you will be able to attend the program and then to finish it. Okay, we have more raised hands. I see. Just a minute, I missed it. Like this. Francesca, do you see who also
Yes,
raised the hand?
I think it's Valeria and Marta.
Okay.
Valeria,
thanks.
maybe.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Valeria. I work at the University of Zadar, and the field of my interest is adult education. So this topic is very interesting for me. Thank you, Christina, for your presentation. I just wanted to ask you one question. If you can please just clarify, how do you motivate the educational provider to develop some of new programs?
Well, they're pretty much already itself motivated because the money, I mean, the funding of the voucher. So I think they're motivated to attract as many, to create the programs that are in line with, of course, Croatian qualification framework, and to become the accredited institution, so that they can provide programs for vouchers. And I would say that we are having a good response from educational institutions, and also our ministry held meetings with them on a regular basis. So they're given all the information regarding how they can become the providers for vouchers. And I would say they're already itself motivated to develop even more programs, and especially now they're being motivated to develop more green skill programs.
Thank you. And I have just one question. Is it possible to obtain a full qualification?
Through the voucher system?
Yes.
No, currently no, just the micro or partial qualifications. But in the future, it may be possible, and there are some ideas that even adult education measures that we're implementing in our service will also transition to a voucher system. But we will see in the future. It's still early days to say.
Thank you, Kristina.
Thank you.
Okay, Marta also raised a hand. Marta?
Yes, hello. My name is Marta Jendekova, and I'm from Slovakia, and I also work for an institution that deals with adult education, and this is very interesting because we are also trying to set up a voucher system. And I wanted to ask if there are any specific programs or specific attention and support to vulnerable groups that were mentioned.
Okay, thank you for your question. Well, the programs itself, no, the programs are open for everybody. They're not designated to vulnerable groups or other specific beneficiary types. But we are trying to, the users that we have in our registry that are belonging to vulnerable groups, we are trying to motivate them through their advisors, giving them by providing information about vouchers and how that will help them their career or raise their maybe employability. So they're given specific other services that motivate them, but programs that are designated just to them, no, I wouldn't say we have that.
Okay, I also see Mr. Eisen raise a hand. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. I'm Aslan from Estonia. I'm Estonian Non-Formal Education Association. And I was just wondering about the background of this voucher system. I'm sure you had another kind of system before that. And I was wondering.
No, yeah.
No,
we didn't. This is something completely new. Well, before that, we heard some experiences from Austria. They had something similar, and the idea came from our ministry. We had nothing like this, and the main thing I would say was also through the education measures for adults and training measures that we have also already and we had. Well, the main problem was also sometimes the whole process of public procurement for educational programs and everything. So, but I also think the ministry recognized the importance of lifelong career guidance and learning in Croatia. So that people need to also upskill more in green and digital skills for the betterment of our economy, I would say. But no, we never had something like this before. This is something completely new.
Is it motivated by those micro-qualification ideas from European Union, perhaps then?
Definitely, I would say. Yes, that is true.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, one more question for Barbara.
Thank you very much. My name is Barbara and I'm from the same institution as Marta. So we are from Slovakia and we are running an adult education institution. And my question would be some more details about criteria that were set for making those programs available. I mean, those educational programs. So what kind of criteria have been set for those programs to become accredited, to become available for learners? For instance, if there was a minimum amount of hours of learning that are available, and what was the average number of hours that the learners actually attended?
Can I just intervene? There is a similar question also in the chat. So just so that you can reply to both, I think our colleague from Hungary, Anil Dovedovati, is asking whether we categorize how long courses are, what is typical, and there's a difference between digital and green courses. So I think it relates.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the programs, they need to be developed on basis on, as I mentioned, Croatian qualifications framework standards. They need to also be using the skills that have been mapped as green or digital. And also the institution needs to be accredited institution. And also in accordance with the adopted Adult Education Act. So apart from that, the programs itself, the hours for the program and everything, I think that is not in our scope of responsibility to deal with, but as I said, once they get accredited, their programs in line with everything, and the programs were approved, that is basically they're just enrolled into the registry of the programs, and we take it from there to the Voucher platform. And the other question was the difference between green and digital programs, as I heard. Well, as I said, we have developed a mapping strategy that's been enforced, and each skill is appraised separately by us humans, and using the IT algorithm, artificial also intelligence, and it's a methodology that I'm not very versed in, but I haven't been working on that, I must admit. But I mean, it's working, and the mapping is continuous process so far, and it's constantly been updated.
Okay, thank you, Christina. I see now one more question appearing here in chat, and it's, and just a minute. Marta is asking, what are the requirements for an institution to be accredited, and by whom?
They need to be accredited by the Ministry of Education and Science as the service providers for vouchers also. And we have a different agency that are also aiding this process, like ASO in Croatia, Agency for Vocational Adult Learning. But once we get that they're accredited, then we basically know that the program is suitable for vouchers, and that it can be put into the catalog.
Okay, thank you. I think that we don't have any more raised hands or questions within the chat. So
Can I maybe ask a question?
Of course, Francesca, there you go.
No, it's also related to what was asked now. I was wondering the quality of the programs. I guess it's not evaluated yet because they just started, but I was wondering whether the learners will have an evaluation and if there is an impact assessment also on what they will achieve through these courses, and also whether the ministry is supporting the providers to provide high quality training, or teachers and trainers, how they are supported in that sense.
Well, regarding the evaluation, of course, the participants, after the completion of the program, they will fill out a questionnaire through the platform where they will appraise the program based on the quality of program, the skills that they maybe have acquired. Also, how is the program organized itself, the duration, the material, the lecturers, and so on. So we will have this in a while after we have enough participants that have finished. So we will have then better picture on maybe which educational institution providing a certain programs have better programs than the others. And maybe based on that, recommend certain institutions to participants if they're acquiring about more quality programs. But regarding I think that's the only way that we can influence in a way the quality of the programs itself. Based upon that analysis that we will have later on, and that will also be a motivating factor for educational institutions to constantly have a good quality and raise the quality of the programs and everything that comes with it, the lecturers, the materials, and how the education is organized, how the program is implemented.
Thank you, Francesca, and thank you, Christina. If there are any more questions, Christina will gladly answer it. And if not, I would maybe pose one or two just to wrap this whole topic. So, Christina, in general, how are you satisfied with the interest and response from participants? What were your expectations? Did you expect to reach the goal at the first year, or what do you think?
Well, we were certainly not expecting to reach the goal so fast. We're very close to reaching our this year's target, and as I said, the campaign of promoting the vouchers hasn't even started yet. So I think it will only get better. Regarding the interest in vouchers, which eventually may be even, I won't say a problem, but it will be a challenge, because after we have met a certain quota for example, digital programs, then we will have to put a stop to granting vouchers for digital programs, and we will only have them open or left for green programs, which will probably happen. But of course, we're also expecting to have more interesting green programs soon. So probably participants will also be more motivated to enroll those kind of programs. But yeah, so far, in conclusion, I would say we're very happy. It has been a challenging couple of months since it started, and it's a project that has a big scope, and not in just our employment service, but on a national level, it's also a very important project, I would say.
And also within REGALE network, it's really interesting. And maybe just one more thing. do you maybe see some difference between the programs that are offered in, let's say, big cities such as capital Zagreb and some other cities? Are there maybe people from a rural area? Is it maybe difficult for them to attend some programs, or maybe it's somehow still balanced regarding the offer in our country?
Well, the offer, of course, is the biggest in the capital city, so in Zagreb and also Zagreb County of the programs. But regarding the offer of the programs, also we have a big number of providers in East Slavonia and Northern Croatia. But regarding rural areas, if a participant is interested in a certain program that is not available in their area, in the local area, then they can always enroll program in a different city, or they can attend online if the education provider has made that option available for a certain program. So. And if it comes to that person is unemployed, we would also cover the transport costs, travel costs for that persons.
That's great to hear. Thank you. And we have one more question from Slovakia about could you describe in more details the staff that is responsible for approval and disapproval of the applications from individuals and the process itself? So basically, who is in charge? You were mentioning that about your counselors who are working with the applications. So maybe just to give more details about this procedure.
Well, we have so far appointed, I think, 90 or so counselors in our employment service that are working on granting the vouchers. Mostly they are from the department similar to mine, from Career Guidance and Education Department. But also I would like to point out that in the scope for our employment service, other departments are included, so the legal department, the unemployment benefits department, because this is not just something that can be handled by a single department, but other counselors and employers need to be involved in this process. So regarding those who are working specifically on granting the applications, they're working through the platform, as I mentioned, and they handle the process from the beginning till the end. So they evaluate the applications, they see if it's meeting criteria, maybe ask for additional information from interested users, and then they either approve or decline the request. Then they handle the upcoming stages of the application regarding payment to the educational institution, regarding the also monitoring attendance. So some unemployed persons also need to submit on a monthly basis the list of attendance through the app. And of course, at the end, they need to check when the person has completed the education, whether whether they have completed the evaluation questionnaire.
Okay, great. I believe everything is more clear now. Does anybody has some other questions, needs for clarifications? Let's wait for a few more minutes. If not, then I would really like to thank you for your engagement and great interest. As Christina said, this program just started in the April, so within the REGALE network, we can keep you updated how the program is going. Of course, I would like to thank Christina for all the information and great presentations. We will share it, of course, to you via REGALE network, and we remain at disposal for all needed clarification and additional information. I believe that you will use this knowledge for maybe the situation in your country, and I hope that you spend a nice hour with us. I would like to thank you all for attendance and wish you really a nice day. And thanks, Christina, and thanks also, Francesca, for giving us more details about this topic. As I already said, we remain at disposal for any additional informations and clarifications. Thanks a lot.